Bueno, mi nombre es Raúl Q.ignora. Estaba previsto que en esta rueda de prensa asistiera Almudena Maillo, pero por un problema personal, pues de última hora ha imposibilitado su asistencia. Les transmito su disculpa, soy el director de Madrid Film Office. Como muestra de interés y impulso del Ayuntamiento de Madrid al sector, Madrid Film Office, que depende del área del turismo, apoya esta edición del Festival Rizoma como colaborador institucional junto a Cineteca. Es un placer apoyar este festival, un placer que alcanza este año su 10ª edición, manteniendo su apuesta por ofrecer una programación innovadora donde el cine se enlaza con las otras artes que lo nutren. El festival cuenta con varias sedes en la ciudad de Madrid, incluyendo la sede de cine municipal Cineteca. El tema de este año, como ya sabéis, es Adaptador Universal, que reflexiona sobre la adaptación de formatos, de técnicas, de narrativas, de exhibición y de audiencias en estos tiempos de cambio que vive el audiovisual. Es fantástico ver cómo el festival mantiene también un año más su compromiso por traer a nuestra ciudad a grandes artistas y profesionales internacionales, como es el caso del cineasta David Lynch, la programadora Kim Yuntani o el propio John Waters, que vino por primera vez a la ciudad de Madrid, invitado por el festival en el 2011 y que repite este año como padrino de la 10ª edición del festival.
It's just to me, they asked me which was my favorite gay films, and so I gave them a big list to see which ones can you get. You know, it's hard to get, like a fluffer, I guess you couldn't get, right? You've seen it, yeah. So I think it was a very good mix of films that I think straight people would like too. To be amazing, you know, you don't have to be gay. I mean, gay people have watched straight films forever, and they've suffered through it, so you can too.
In the end of August, we will do an event in a small village, which is where the festival was born. It's a village with 800 people living in it, and we'll be doing some events and screenings there August 26th and 28th to 28th. And then the main event, again, in November, the 15th to 21st. So hopefully you can come and spread the news. Now, John, hello. I just wanted to open up with a couple of questions. First, I thought, for us it's so important that you came back, that this is your second time to our festival.
But it's the third. Didn't I do one virtually?
Yeah, and you did one virtually, that's true. That is true, that is true.
Sort of counts.
That sort of, yes, that was in the middle of the pandemic, and we really tried to keep the flame alive during the pandemic. That's true. Okay, so third time. So that says to us that you have a good connection with this festival, and I wanted to just hear you talk a little bit about it, what it means for you as an artist to go back and forth between Europe and the US.
Well, to me, I've only been here because of this festival. So, you know, when I think of the city, that's what I think of. And Pedro's films, which is exactly like being in one when I step into the city. The same way when people come to Baltimore, they say, hey, it's really like your films here. Yeah, it is. And she really struggled hard to get me here with the pandemic and all this stuff. So thank you very much for bringing me here. And it's always amazing to me. I was thinking, how do you know who I am? I'm always amazed in every country. I went to Poland this year, and the greatest thing happened. This old man that looked like Khrushchev, like the oldest communist you ever saw. He said, I saw Pink Flamingos when it was illegal here. No, he said, I saw Crybaby when it was illegal here. We saw it. And he said, and when I saw Willem Dafoe slap Johnny Depp on the ass, I knew I was gay. And I thought, you're kidding. And the whole audience went crazy, because this was the last thing we expected this old guy to say, you know. So it's really great to hear that your films are understood and known in completely different cultures. So it's really great for that. And so also I love European feel-bad movies. They're my favorite. I pick my 10 best list every year is in art form. And I always go for Gaspar Noé and Bruno Dumont and all the feel-bad. I love to feel bad when I see a movie. I feel good when I go in. So I want a film to scare me or take me into a world that I'm afraid of or make me laugh at things that I've never done. And I think European films do that even more. And I think they call it the art house crowd. That's because Americans are so stupid like me that can only speak one language. And so they don't like subtitles. God, why can't you read? Why don't you like subtitles? Like maybe you learn a few words of a language. But the art houses are really kind of suffering because the one audience that has not come back are older people and not who was really going to all these films, you know? So we got to get the young ones hooked again on art movies. I think that's very important. And by your kind of programming and doing the kind of programming that's different is how we're going to get them back in. And we got to get them hooked on art films again.
I also wanted to ask you a bit about being a transdisciplinary artist, because our festival combines film and other arts, and we've really brought up like David Lynch and Laurie Anderson. They both work in different areas, and how is that for you?
Well, to me, I think you should always just have backup plans. If you can't get a movie made, I write a book. And if I can't write a book, I do a spoken word show. They're all the same to me. I'm basically a writer. I never made a movie I didn't write. I wouldn't even know how to do that, really. The fun of it's thinking it up, and then it's downhill afterwards. You have to make it real. But I think, to me, always having different plans of how to go is how you have a career that lasts. And what I've always done is make fun of things that I love, not hate. Mean can be fun for 20 minutes, but 2 hours, it gets a little relentless. So I think it's how I've gotten away with this, and believe me, I have gotten away with this. I've never had to get a real job ever. Is that I made fun of things I loved, and I think that's how I got away with it. Including into the very politically correct world, if there is a censorship today, I would be worried about it's way more that than the dumb old white men that used to say they couldn't show a vagina, and I would tell them, well, that's divine, it's not a vagina. And the censor woman said to me, don't tell me about sex, I was married to an Italian.